Welcome back, everyone. The fourth Avengers Doomsday teaser trailer just leaked. This time it's for the Black Panther, Namor, and the Fantastic Four characters, answering some questions about that Fantastic Four post-credit scene, as well as the Thunderbolts post-credit scene with the Fantastic Four ship coming into the MCU. There's a bunch of Easter eggs here and some classic Fantastic Four and classic Black Panther comics baked into this. I know there are a lot of people that might be asking, why did they put the Fantastic Four characters with the Black Panther version of the teaser with those characters? It's all because of the way they originally introduced the Black Panther character in the classic Marvel comics back in the day. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby introduced the Black Panther for the first time in Marvel Comics in a Fantastic Four comic book back in the 1960s. That's how far back this goes. So I firmly believe, had Chadwick Boseman still been alive when this was happening, we would have seen way more of him with the Fantastic Four characters first before the Fantastic Four meet with a bunch of the other MCU characters. I've already started seeing all the jokes about the Fantastic Four meeting the Wakandans and thinking that every nation in the 616 universe on Earth is hyper advanced, like, oh, it's amazing on this version of Earth and everything's so futuristic, but then they make it to some other nations and find out that everywhere else is total crap by comparison. Oh, you guys are the only hyper-advanced civilization on Earth, everybody else is kind of terrible. You also notice that both the Black Panther characters and Namor have brand new costumes, but the Fantastic Four are wearing their same costumes from the end of the Fantastic Four movie, mostly to explain the timeline, I think, of when all these post-credit scenes are happening and how they line up with the beginning of Avengers Doomsday. This is also assuming that the footage we're seeing in these Avengers Doomsday teaser trailers are from the actual movie, and it's not just promotional material that will not appear in the actual movie. Sometimes Marvel will do that. They'll just film stuff for teasers and promos that won't make it into the actual movie, or it'll just wind up being deleted scenes. As you could probably hear, the music they play this time is similar to the mixes they've done in the previous trailers, like the similar vibes. They typically mix a version of the classic Alan Silvestri Avengers theme music because it is a big Avengers movie, Avengers Doomsday, with the other characters' specific theme music or group of characters, like the X-Men theme music in the X-Men trailer. Now we have the Black Panther music in the Black Panther trailer. You can kind of hear echoes of the Fantastic Four theme in the background too, but this teaser is mostly the Black Panther Wakanda music mixed with the Alan Silvestri Avengers theme music. Just like all the other Avengers Doomsday trailers, with maybe the exception of the Captain America version of the trailer, the Steve Rogers one felt a little bit more hopeful, but all the other ones so far, like the Thor one and the X-Men one, felt super serious, like as serious as cancer. Really, really crazy stuff going on, like there was a major battle and the X-Mansion was being destroyed during the X-Men trailer.
I've lost everyone that matters to me.
During Thor's trailer, it sounded like he was praying to Odin, being prepared to die, like he was heading off to battle to fight Doctor Doom in the coming threats, thinking that he might die. So like those, the tone of this Black Panther trailer is way more hardcore. The opening shot here is on the desert with Shuri's narration. There are a couple characters that speak during this, but it starts with Shuri's narration. You notice she's wearing her new Black Panther suit. This would be her second. This is what it looks like compared to her original suit. The main difference is that there's more gold pieces in it. It looks way stabbier, way angrier, way more hardcore, way more bling, which is this classic Killmonger style. He inspired her Black Panther suit the first time too. Killmonger was all about being showy as opposed to T'Challa, who wanted his final Black Panther suit to be way more subtle. She says, "I've lost everyone that matters to me." Then the camera pans around and you see this temple, this desert temple in the background. All these warriors are also meant to be Namor's troops. Namorita is here too, and we see Namor himself. More on him in a second. A lot of these new scenes are meant to feel very serious, but there are a couple comedic moments baked in here too, like the comedy of the Fantastic Four coming from the 1960s and learning what present day of the MCU is like. Now imagine Shuri trying to explain the internet to the Fantastic Four characters. There's this amazing repository of all knowledge online at everyone's fingertips that anybody can access. Oh, what do you use this for? Well, actually, most of the people in our universe just use it to post memes online. Speaking of which, thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your terms. I am a YouTuber, I spend all my time making videos, I have no idea how to make an actual website, but I needed to have one outside of my YouTube channel to make it easier for people in other businesses to actually get in contact with me. Squarespace helped handle everything from finding a professional website designer, picking out templates for actually building my site, and after I created it, helping me manage it day to day and make sure that it stays up to date. This is why usually when I tell people to contact me, I point them to my Squarespace website. Squarespace makes all that painless. And for those of you that do have things that you want to sell online, Squarespace helps you showcase your products and customize your product listings with images, videos, reviews, related products, and add-ons that help you make more sales. Their Squarespace commerce platform makes managing everything from inventory to sales and customers simple. Everybody head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/emergencyawesome to save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/emergencyawesome. I'll put the link up here on screen and down in the description below, so be sure to check it out and have fun building your websites this year. But the idea is this desert location here is near Talocan, near Namor's actual city in the Atlantic Ocean. It's close to the Gulf of Mexico area here near Yucatan. So if you couldn't tell, because it's kind of in the background here, is the temple is meant to be from times when this was a fertile area before drought basically dried it up and turned it into a desert. So this temple to Talocan is meant to be ancient. The whole idea is that it's meant to be near the coast, which is why Namor and his people have basically traveled a little ways from the coast, like they're not that far from the ocean. And the whole reason why Namor and his people are here is because Shuri has gone to them to form the alliance that he predicted at the end of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Remember, that was his whole gambit because he wanted to destroy the surface world. That's his ultimate goal. But they end that movie on a more hopeful note, and he says, just wait for it. Eventually, the surface world is going to come for Wakanda, and then they're going to turn to us in their hour of need, and then we will band together and we will destroy the surface world together. So Namor has just been waiting for Shuri to ask for his help, and for her to go even more hardcore off the deep end so that he can get rid of all the surface dwellers.
Are you sure?
Obviously, he's going to have to wait a beat to accomplish that goal because Doctor Doom is coming. There's much bigger problems in Avengers Doomsday, but this is the whole reason for the alliance between between Namor and Shuri in Wakanda. Namor also happens to be a big Fantastic Four character as well too, appeared in many Fantastic Four comics. A lot of people asking if we're going to get some Namor and Sue Richards scenes too, just because they have a long history in the comics together as well, like a whole bunch of drama, a lot of relationship drama. I'm not expecting the movie to spend a whole lot of time on that, just because we have a very limited window in so many characters and so much plot in this. There's barely time for anything. Maybe they did like a 10-hour movie, and I would totally watch a 10-hour movie. Then her voiceover goes on to say, the king has his duties to prepare our people for the afterlife. I have mine. So this is just to reference what happened at the end of Black Panther Wakanda Forever with the way they split the duties. Typically, the king of Wakanda becomes the next Black Panther and vice versa. Like T'Challa had taken the mantle of Black Panther, but his father, T'Chaka, was still alive, so he was still the reigning king. But eventually, T'Challa was going to become king, which we see during the events of the first Black Panther movie. At the end of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Shuri basically decides that she's not ready to become queen of Wakanda, not ready to be a ruler. She just wants to focus full time on her mission as Black Panther and her duties, basically doing all the same type of stuff that you saw her doing during the first Black Panther movie. So M'Baku, who did want to be king, like he was the next choice after T'Challa, he basically just steps in and says, well, I was going to be king the first time until T'Challa came back, so why don't I just go ahead and be king again now? And if it wasn't clear, they were both on the same page. Like, they came to that agreement, which is why M'Baku came to the end of Black Panther Wakanda Forever saying, Shuri will not be joining us. He basically had a conversation with her, and they decided to split the duties. When she says the king's duty is to prepare our people for the afterlife, this is also a reference to the Black Panther in the comics. Now, we're talking about T'Challa Black Panther, and like the typical Black Panthers is part of his family. Also being the king of the dead, the necropolis is a real big place that we see during the first Black Panther movie and the second Black Panther movie a little bit too, but mostly in the comics. And one of the abilities that the heart-shaped herb gives Black Panther is the ability to speak to all the previous ancestors that were Black Panther before him, kind of like an Avatar: The Last Airbender situation where they speak to their previous lives. The whole way they visualize that during the MCU is that he travels into the ancestral plane and like literally speaks with the spirits of his ancestors, but it's really him speaking across dimensions because of the way death works in the MCU in general. Their consciousness just travels to another plane of existence, and this is what that dimension looks like for people in Wakanda. Basically, the idea is that Avengers Doomsday is coming. They think it means the end of the world, so they're all prepared to die. Like, we're all gonna die pretty soon, so we better get ready to meet all of our ancestors in the ancestral plane. We get the slow reveal of Namor sitting on a throne. Namor loves his thrones. He's holding the same spear that he had during Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Notice he's also got a more comic book accurate jacket on with his collar popped too, just like the comics. The only difference though is that it's more black here, but that might just be a color grading issue. There might be some deep blue hues in here that we can't see because of the janky potato quality footage. She and M'Baku then walk across the sands, and they're getting ready to go meet the Fantastic Four characters. That's why they're walking across frame here. Notice that M'Baku is also wearing brand new armor too, and the reason why most of his armor looks wooden and not metallic is because he uses vibranium. Yes, all their clothes are vibranium weave fabrics, the metal in his spear tips are vibranium, and he has other vibranium weapons on his body like knives and tools, but the wood and the chest plate, the other wooden pieces on his armor, are because his tribe, specifically the ape tribe, are hardcore traditionalists compared to Shuri in the Panther tribe. M'Baku's tribe hates technology and they try to avoid it as much as possible. Now they use some technology, like they have to use some technology. He's the king of Wakanda, there's a little bit of technology, but not on the level of Shuri, just using tech all the time. For those of you asking though, the wood that they actually use in their armor is meant to be almost as hard, like as special as vibranium. It's not quite as strong as vibranium, but it's meant to be reinforced with vibranium. So it is meant to be super strong, like it's not just costume wood armor, it's actually really strong armor. We actually did see Namor, though, with his Hulk-level strengths when he was in water, like his full levels of mutant strength, just punched the crap out of M'Baku and shattered that wood. That's how strong Namor is. But it's only when he's in water. That's why they made the Hulk comparison. When he's in water, he's about as strong as the Hulk at normal level strength. The difference with the Hulk, though, if you want to get really technical, is that his power just scales all the way up the madder he gets. So the Hulk can get way more powerful, but Namor cannot. You also notice they have some Dora Milaje with them. I don't see Okoye with them here, so she's probably off doing something else, but I do believe that Okoye is in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, or at least one of those movies. Then even though the whole trailer is meant to be super serious, they end on a funny moment like the ha-ha moment of M'Baku meeting Ben Grimm and just being bemused by him like, what is going on here? What is your deal? Is your entire body made of rock? Like, is your junk made of rock? The answer to that question is yes, his entire body is made of rock. Notice he goes to shake Ben Grimm's hand and he introduces himself saying, M'Baku, King of Wakanda. Then we get the funny reveal of Ben saying, Ben from Yancey Street between Broome and Grand as he shakes M'Baku's hand. Then the Black Panther music picks back up, it gets serious again. Shuri gets this kind of worried look on her face as they jump back into her shuttle and take off. And notice she's nodding to someone off camera. It makes the Wakanda Forever sign. I believe that it's Namor that she's signaling to because they formed the alliance that Namor predicted, like I said, at the end of the Black Panther Wakanda Forever movie. Then the title this time says the Wakandans and the Fantastic Four will return in Avengers Doomsday. Like I said, the reason why the Fantastic Four are in the Black Panther version of the trailer is because Black Panther, the character, the T'Challa Black Panther, was introduced for the first time in a Fantastic Four classic comic back in the day. There are a lot of rumors that we're going to see another version of Black Panther, like another T'Challa Black Panther show up during Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars. I believe that Shuri is still meant to be the main Black Panther through at least Avengers Doomsday, so it might not be till Avengers Secret Wars that this other Black Panther surfaces and becomes a really big character, but we will see how they deal with that. Just expect to see another Black Panther T'Challa show up at some point. The real question is it going to be his aged up son, T'Challa's aged up son, who's also named T'Challa, or is it going to be another T'Challa Black Panther from another universe? And will it wind up being Damson Idris? Streets are currently saying that Damson Idris is going to be the new adult T'Challa Black Panther after Secret Wars, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is him if he does show up at some point during these next Avengers movies, and that's how they introduce the character. Or maybe if it's just T'Challa's aged up son, who's also named T'Challa, they just reintroduce him like, oh, by the way, this is the same character you met at the end of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but he was a tiny baby at the end of that movie. We're just aging him up now because multiverse shenanigans. A lot of this trailer also lines up with some earlier leaked footage that we got from a couple months ago where you actually see Shuri's Black Panther suit on the Fantastic Four ship. So it seems like she's part of that team. We also see the new Torres version of the Falcon from Captain America Brave New World, meaning that the new Avengers characters, Sam Wilson's new Avengers characters, have started to mix with them too. And speaking of new Avengers, you also see John Walker in the background too, meaning that the Thunderbolts characters, who are also the new Avengers, have also mixed with them as well too. So this scene of them on the ship together is probably from much later in the movie.
Ben, Yancey Street, between Broome and Grand.
My assumption is this scene of Ben Grimm meeting the Black Panther characters is from much earlier in the film, relatively soon after they actually enter the MCU, just in general, like after this Thunderbolts post-credit scene. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below, and if there's any Easter eggs or references that you spotted in the footage that I didn't talk about in this video, just write them below in the comments. We will get a shiny HD version of this next week on schedule like they've been doing with all the previous trailers. Like we just got the HD version of the X-Men trailer. I did a video for that, so I'll link it at the end of this. But we will see if this Black Panther teaser is the last one until the big Super Bowl trailer, because that's supposed to be, I believe streets are saying, that's when we'll get our first official Avengers Doomsday trailer with way more characters and a big Dr. Doom Robert Downey Jr. reveal. Whatever winds up happening, of course I will do videos for it. Also, on related news, we might wind up getting the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer during the Super Bowl as well too, because it is weird that we're getting all these Avengers Doomsday trailers, but no Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, even though that movie is coming out long before Avengers Doomsday. Marvel and Sony, please give us some Spider-Man Brand New Day footage. Let us know who Sadie Sink is actually playing. There was a version of that trailer that also just leaked out. I did a video for that, so click here for that, and click here for all my other Avengers Doomsday trailers. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.